All right. Hello out there in YouTube land. We're going to try something a little different. Years ago, I did a pen and ink drawing of Spider-Man on here. Had a little bit of fun, but I will admit it was a little nerve-wracking because usually when I sketch and draw and doodle and do my thing, it's usually just like me and it's kind of quiet and I can focus, but, a lot of distractions doing it this way. So I figured let's just jump in here and we're going to go ahead and just do it. Just do it. Stop thinking about it and just do it. And what we're going to do today is it's going to be cartoony. It's going to be very cartoony. We're going to find an image on one of these covers of Usagi Yojimbo by the great Stan Sakai, and we're going to do a character study because one of the great things about collecting comics, even as a kid, even as a kid, is that I think every kid picked up a pencil and a piece of paper and started doodling and sat there and tried to draw comic book covers. I tried to trace one time, and when I saw that the pen put an indentation in the comic book, that never happened again. So yeah, as a kid, comics sort of inspire, for you to at least get a hand and try art. All right, people are here. What's up? Now, one of the fun things I'm going to do here is that this is just going to be for fun, right? With a cartoony figure, and it's kind of a study. And you're going to find out that even though cartoon figures kind of look simplistic, there's still a lot of anatomy and art techniques applied, right? Because usually when I sit down and do art, I usually end up doing these projects that take about 3 days to do. This is a print of one of my projects. This is based on Paul Jones of the Rolling Stones there. And this involved, the way I'm meticulous and I'm very slow because I'm an amateur. Pretty much self-taught, except for whatever you get in middle school and high school and things like that. But I would sit here and measure and make dots and go in there and try to do things. We're not going to do that today. This is for fun. It's going to be quick, and we're going to put a little wash of watercolor on there because watercolors drive me nuts. I can actually work with gouache and do a few things, but I'm determined to make friends with the watercolor. All right, so actually, I'm late. I always knew who Usagi Yojimbo was. I always knew who Stan Sakai was, but it was through Serge Aragonis and Gru. And then one of my friends, Scott, God, what was it, 8 years ago? We were at a comic book convention in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he found an omnibus edition or something. It was a phone book trade for $5 of Usagi, and he went, "Damn it, I've been telling you for years, read Usagi," and he was absolutely right. So we're going to find a few things that kind of catches my eye, see what inspires me, see what gets me. That's very moody. And I met Stan Sakai twice up at Baltimore Con, so I have 2-3 things signed by him. I don't feel like a kite. That's got potential. Yeah, I feel like drawing a little action, or at least try to. What we got here? Let's go a little bit faster here. I'm overthinking it. Oh, that's cool. I'm more interested in the ghost here. I haven't read a lot of these, or it's been so long since I've read them. I've got a little bit of a backlog. Oh, this is a beautiful cover. I'm going to end up framing this. That is just fit. Let's put that to the side. That does not get to go back. That does not get to go back at all. What is this? Sorry, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. I went on a cruise, and this is what I'm saying with me playing around with watercolor. I did some watercolor journaling, and the whole point of this is to spend about not a lot of time, 5 or 10 minutes. This is my breakfast through a tinted window, looking at the ocean, and I can tell you all stories about what was going on that morning on the cruise a few weeks ago. So there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Trying to get this watercolor going. Nice owl. Okay. Okay, yeah, this one's caught my eye. Let's put that to the side. Okay. Yeah, that's caught my eye. I'm not going to overthink this. So we're going to go with that one. Put these to the side. And what we're going to be using, we'll see if the camera stays in focus. Hey, what's up, guys? We got people here. Good. Hello, John. Be like John. Make sure you subscribe and thumbs it up and hit that bell, because John is always right there. That's right, twice in a day. Then we have John Jones. Great to see you. Yeah, what's up, Howard? Going to sit here and either this is going to be the coolest thing I've ever done on YouTube, or it's going to be a disaster. Either way, we're all here for it. As a kid, I created, and made a who's who type of notebook. That's awesome. All right, guys. So this is going to be like a character study, all right? One of the things you're going to find out is when you see cartoony stuff like this, there's a lot to it. Sergio Aragonés, Charles Schultz, Berkeley Breathe. I mean, I studied that stuff also and everything, right? But what's amazing is you're going to notice there's a line there in the gesture, right? There's, like I said, there's some symmetry. There's a plan here. He's got perspective going on. And of course, he uses size to make depth in the picture and things like that. But the biggest thing is that it just amazes me how there's still anatomy in there. When you look at things like Garfield, Charles Schultz, exaggerate Al Cap a little bit and stuff, they still have an idea of weight and depth in them and stuff. One of the greatest, before I go on with this, one of the greatest stories I've ever heard is Jim Davis, or Davies, the creator of Garfield. I always felt like Garfield got elevated to a level of leading up to stardom because he had a rub from Charles Schultz. Charles Schultz was the guy that Jim Davis was talking about, and he walked over there and he took his pen and he said, you make Garfield's, to make him look a bit more balanced, make his feet bigger, and showed him that trick. So Garfield's feet came from Charles Schultz. There's still an idea of weight and balance and stuff on there, right? So we're going to do this one. And we're going to do this on watercolor paper, just the stuff that I got at 40% off at Hobby Lobby and stuff, right? And I've already taped it down here. The camera angle is weird because the table is angled, and I did not know that until just now, okay? So let's get started here. Thanks, guys, for popping in there. So we're all in this together. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can draw while, talking to you guys and stuff. That should be interesting. So where it's a cartoon figure, we're going to go with just a Master's Touch pen and ink set here, illustrated pens. We're going to go with the thicker one. That's a 0.1. That's small. Which one is big here? Well, let's go over to this one. We got more here. Master's Touch. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. A 1.0. We're going to go with a thick line because it is cartoon. And just, oh yeah, let me show you guys so you can see how another piece of art this was the last thing I did. This took me about 2 hours. I got this picture off of somewhere and decided to play around with the inks and stuff. I loved the idea of the designs and trying to keep the negative space going. So this is just pure ink wash. So yeah, some of this stuff's on Instagram if you're willing to dig through all the comic book stuff to find the art and stuff. But like I said, it's all about getting that time to do it. And now let's get centered. Let's breathe. Realize this is not that big of a deal. We're going to have the Masters of the Universe guys, Skeletor and He-Man up here for luck, looking at what I do. And let's take a look at this, right? So I'm going to do this just like when I was a kid and stuff. I'm not so much going to make the shapes in there, find the shapes and everything. I want to start with the eyes. That's what's always been cool about this, right? So I am left-handed. So let's move some stuff around right off the bat. See if this can do it. All right. So I'm left-handed, and we're just going to go with Usagi Yojimbo here, guys. All right. Okay. So if I get quiet, we're doing this in real time. So let's go here. This is cool, man. All right. Stan Sakai has a very cool line. You can tell he's very comfortable doing his thing here. And what I should have done there was very smoothly just keep the line going. Subtle little dots and things add depth. Let's go down here, get the nose in. And we're just going to go with some very simple line. Don't want to overthink it. Got to commit. All right. And basically what I can already tell I'm going to do is I'm going to try to recreate this, not make a big deal about it. Then I'm probably going to go in and do a few things of my own to it to make it more mine. Okay, so we go here to here. It's a big head. Here to here. Get some symmetry. And then when you do things like this, you just got to commit. You want to make a shape, you just commit. This could be lower. All right. That head is atrocious. But like I said, we're all here together to see what happens when we do something new on here. The famous samurai bun on the ears. Could have went a little bit higher on that. We want to cheat a little bit here, probably make the hands smaller. Round this off a little bit. Come down again. And now we're going to get into the shoulder that lines up right here. Yeah, we'll get that gi here in a minute. Mm-hmm. Some black pants. He is a snazzy dresser, you have to admit. All right, let's check this out. Okay, guys, it says I visited Dollar Tree today, and they have a nice display of DC Rebirth comics. I picked up a Batman, Superman, Rebirth, and Green Lantern. I'm sure they're prints, but great stories. I heard they were going to start doing like $1.25 or something like that. Things up there at the Dollar Tree. If you guys don't have one of those in your country, it's pretty much they just have a lot of cheap stuff going on here. All right, let me see where I was at here. What's wild is I know that I can do a little bit better on this if I was sort of just by myself, doodling, taking my time. But we'll just make this fun. I'm going to go start cutting a little loose and wild, doing my own thing a little bit here. See how we have the here to here? That's I love how he's got that all angled there. So much to learn there. All right. That foot is going to be amazing to try to do. So we got that. We got that. Let's bring this down. Close up some spaces. Or get a little cheat. I probably won't have to get in there and yeah, the whole foot is going to be there. So this is where we get a little anatomy going on. And it kind of has it flows. That's the whole thing. He has a line there to make those clothes flow. Cut this in here. It's black, so I can get in there and just get that. Yes, so. All right, we have a rabbit foot. This should be interesting. See if there's a basic shape in there. We're not going to pull a Rob Liefeld and hide the feet. We're going to do our thing here. See if we can get them in there. All right, we got two toes. All right. All right. Yeah, there's things I could have done in pencil, but we're doing straight to ink, so I get credit, guys. I get credit. And something could have been done with that jaw there. Yeah, it's flawed, but what do you think, guys? Does it look like you? Does it look like him? Does it look like him, guys? Come on now. Okay, so there's little things with pen and ink here we can go by. The ears definitely could have been bigger, but we're not going to sit here and that's what you don't want to do. You want to just get on with what you're doing. Don't get in your head and start taking apart what you could have done better because you can always do another one. All right, so we got the basic form in. Now it's time just to kind of have some fun with it. We'll still get into all some of the details that Stan Sakai has in there. I'll look for his lines. Then I'm probably going to add to it with some ink, and then we'll put a wash over it, guys. I feel much more relaxed now, much more relaxed. So I'm glad we're all here doing it together. So does anybody have Stan Sakai stories or Usagi Yojimbo, Gru? What else do I like? Gru, my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Cerebus. They're all kind of connected, when you realize it. We've had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meet Yojimbo. I think it was actually in a cartoon in the Turtles cartoon. Cerebus, of course, is early days had a story with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. So. Yeah, it looks like it's just. I wonder how Stan really puts all these little dots in on the blue gi. Is that what it is? Yeah, from what I'm looking, it's just a lot of stippling. And I'm being real quick here. Oh yeah, now the fun is beginning. The fun is definitely beginning. A lot of texture. All right, so we come in here, we've got lines on the belt, give it depth. See what we got on the sword here. It's in the water. Are we going to do the water? I think we are going to do the water. Okay, he's on a rock, surrounded by grass. So yeah, we'll kind of lose it on this one here. Just kind of get the lines in there. Oh no, I have a cat. Nothing like a samurai fight on the river, huh, guys? We've all been there. And water. Get the gestures there. Fill all that in. I don't know what we'll do with the background, but we'll get there. I wonder if this would be better as like an ASMR thing, so okay. All right. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it just a bit. So I think we're going to have a little fun. We'll get the black paints in there. You see what I have over here, brush wise. I'm just going to use some old cheap brushes, throwaway brushes, because like I said, there's nothing real serious going on here. Yeah, we'll do that before we get into the watercolor. And we got a little bit of ink here, just but your basic cheap old Higgins ink, Man, like I said, I think the only thing I've really changed is drawn those ears just a bit bigger. So let's get some blacks on here. Like I said, I usually take a lot more time with this kind of stuff, but we'll just, everybody's got things to do. And I like to do more stuff like this in the future. So the more I do it, the more comfortable I should get. And I feel like doing a Bob Ross. Like if I make a mistake, we'll just solve a happy little accident. All right, got a little dry brushing going on there a little bit. Tell you what, this part of it is always so satisfying. And like I said, I am left-handed, so normally I would start on this side and go over, but I'm not paying that much attention, am I? Nice. I think I'm calmer about the brushing with the big inks than I am when I was actually drawing it in front of you. Yeah, that'll work. You see, that is a cheapo brush. I've already got threads coming off of it. Now we're going to have to watch what we touch with this hand. There's ink on it. But hey, man, things like that happen when you're hanging out. Yeah, and being left-handed, drawing in school and everything like that, your stuff always looks a little bit different. When I was in school, they were trying to get that demon out of you, of that causes you to be left-handed. So there was actually a therapist that would come in and force you to do things to make use your right hand. So I got a little ambidextrous with some things, and then it totally messed me up when it came to playing softball and baseball because I ended up having to catch and throw with both hands where they screwed around with me. So there's some things I can do with both hands just from having them do it at a young age. So then there was Frank Frazetta. This all ties together. Frank Frazetta apparently had a choice of going into the Major League Baseballs, playing Major League Baseball, I believe, or be an artist, and he decided to become an artist. Years later, he had a stroke, so he just switched hands. It debilitated one side of him, and he kept painting, and he lost nothing. I don't know how long it took him to master that again, but if nobody ever noticed his work, it affected his work, his paintings is what I'm getting at. Just made that a little bit bigger. Smooth that out. Actually, kind of like that. Okay, adds a little something there. Oh, he's got some red eyes. I'm not seeing anything major here. I want to change. Alrighty, let's add a little blacks here. Now, normally I would take my time and look at it and decide where I want more blacks and stuff, right? That would be very, very cool. And I'm going to split my water up to clean this brush. Give me a second here, guys. I have water waiting. That gives it a chance to dry up a little bit. Well, I just saw what I could do. We can do a little ink wash here, a little wash. I saw another spot of black I could put on there. Let's go on in here. Now, like I said, I would play around with some ink wash, add some different tones to it, per se. Go ahead and get this rock in here. And, oh, man. See, I'm wanting to play around and experiment here. I'm wanting to, like I said, where this is watercolor paper, and this is just a study before I start making some changes on it to add my style to it there a little bit. Some black on this rock. I'm going to add tones a different way, I think, here in a minute. Like I said, we're going to play around with some stuff. Get that out of the way. Let that dry. All right, I feel much more relaxed than when we got started. I think it's where there's not a white page sitting there staring at me, guys. Oh, what we got here? Oh, Gore. Oh, thanks, guys. Joy Lucian's here. Wow, didn't know you can draw. Very cool. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Like I said, this is just to get started, get my nerves out of the way. That's why I went with more of a cartoony character here. Thanks, John. Like I said, I'm not making excuses here, but you know. Oh, thanks, Gore. Great to see you, brother. The great Gore Vidal is there. Was it last week? It's been very busy, but we had a check out my live shows, especially with Gore. We had a fantastic part 1 talk of Alan Moore that we're going to pick up on later. You should do streams like this more often. Maybe talk about the history of the character while doing it. That's why I'm trying to get comfortable doing this. That's why I'm trying to get comfortable doing this. It may take me 1 or 2 to kind of just find my rhythm with this. Because like when I draw, if you saw at the beginning of the stream, I'll spend a lot of time doing certain things. Like, you know, some of my stuff takes 2 or 3 days in the evenings when I have time. Such as this print. But like I'm very quiet and it's got to be very calm around me when to do it. And so I can focus. I have to focus. So this is actually kind of fun. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play around with this because some of this is drawing and then we're just going to put a wash around here, right? We're not going to have, this is not going to be anything really major, but I'm going to play around with it. But some of the things I would do if this was me is I'm going to add some black around the eyes, because I'm all about more emotion. All right, it's going to be like the little subtle things, right? I'm going to kick the pink eyes because he is what he is, but I'm going to add some bolder lines here, add a little curvature to them. All right, see, I overwork my blacks sometimes, right? But I really like having a lot of black on there. I mean, I'm of that school of I've studied a lot of things like Wally Wood and EC Comics, Tom Palmer. I mean, and usually I could think of a light source with this, right? A light source, but like I said, we're all in this together here. I'm going to add some blacks under here, add some weight to it. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to round this off to give it more of a 3D look when it comes to his ribbon or hair bow or tie or whatever that is. And we're going to round this off. Add some more blacks there to add some date. But like I could do this all day, just looking at this, adding a few more things here and there, picking up some lines, smooth them out, add some stippling there. There we go. I don't want to overwork it though, because like I said, I can improve this a lot. Bolding those lines. Go in there, fill in a few things. And it's real subtle things. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or anything, right? But there's all sorts of other things I would love to do to get in here and add a lot of weight to it. Make this into more of a circle. And we're going to keep it as a Stan Sakai sword. He's got his way of doing things. I love this curvy little, that reminds me of a curvy line right there. Right here. Looks like a curvy chin sinew thing. And then, like I said, I don't know if I want to overdo the water because I'm going to let color do its work there. I'm going to cheat and just have it go below him. I'm not going to do too much with the background. I can probably go back and do some of that later. Okay. Like I said, the only thing I think I would really correct is probably this chin a little bit. Add some weight under there. Bolden up and just refine a few things. All right. So now this is where the disaster could come in probably. Let me get one of my pens here, see if it's going to work. We'll get a little highlighter. Now, the white highlighters, the gel pens, end up driving me crazy because they dry out or the ink, the gel dries on the tip. And I haven't get a new one, so let's see what this does. Oh, what is this? I see a spot I missed. I do believe. And normally I'll probably come back to this drawing 3 or 4 times, just continuing to add things to it. See, what again? I've got the ink on my left hand. I'm already spotting it up, but that's all right. So, see if this gel pen's going to work. Nope. Let's get a fresh one, guys. A fresh one. Now I'm starting to get in the rhythm, man. I'm about ready to have a handful of drawing tools in there. So let's get this. The highlighters. Hopefully will work over the ink. Sometimes it takes them a little while to get going. You got to shake them up, press, and then drag. All right. We can get it going. These may not work. Sometimes I might have to get like a gouache white out and go over it sometimes. There we go. Okay. And like I said, if this effect doesn't work out too well, I can just go back over it with blacks and stuff, man. But that's just to add a little depth and definition to it. Break it up just a touch. You know, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And it doesn't really matter because, like I said, I can go back in and go over it with black again. Okay. Clean that off of there. Hopefully we can use this again and I'll have to buy another one. Okay, guys, so there's nothing left to do but do it. And actually, to make it even more challenging, I'm not going to whip out my tubes of watercolor. I bought this $10 little mini kit at a Hobby Lobby, and it's already been destroyed. TSA. I took this on a cruise, and I did a few watercolors, journaling every day for like about maybe 5 or 10 minutes on 2-3 pieces. And the whole point of the journaling is to catch a moment, and so you can remember it, and maybe talk about it. And the TSA destroyed my regular glasses that I had to order another one, and I don't know what they did to this, but as you can see, if it'll show up, some of the watercolors are actually raised. They were so rough on my stuff, right? So basically, we're going to do a few swatches here, and like I said, we're just going to like make a wash over this. We're not really going to go too far into it, and then we'll add some tones to it, right? So let me find a little brush here. I have some nice, very nice. I have 3 or 4 really nice watercolor brushes, but I think we're going to be all right just doing it this way. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. It's got an angle on it. All right. Get our water up here. Play around and see what we can find. I need a blue right off the bat. I need a blue. All right. So add a little blue. You normally want to add a little bit of water, more water, to take it down a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of white. Yeah, that'll work. So let's load it up. And I'm going to do a dry on dry. Now, if you ever decide to try to do some watercolors, watercolor is unforgiving. I've quit 3 or 4 times getting into the watercolors. It's very unforgiving, and it always seems to look like crap while you're doing it. Then you come back and you find out it looks quite much a lot better than you thought it would. And I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm actually just filling in the spaces. Um, maybe I'll add another color here to leave some. You can leave some whites here and stuff to give it that watercolor feel. I'm kind of staying in the. I'm not going to stay in the lines too much up here. I think I'm going to add leave some white spaces, add some character to it. Okay. See if we can find something to make a gray with. Some water. Now, I don't see the camera picking up a lot of the little subtleties here, but that's all right. That's all right. Got a little bit of tone to them. And like I said, this is where I get very quiet. Oh. Hold on, guys. Let me fix this camera. Where'd it go? Are you kidding me? I'm doing something where I have to have a camera, and I no longer have the camera up. Hold on, guys. Put that back in. Where am I at? Can you guys see me yet? Amazing. There we go. How much did you guys miss? Oh, here we go. Yes, part one. Looking forward to your next talk. FYI, Jennifer Daleks on YouTube, and it's entirely. Oh, nice. Watched it last night. One of my favorite episodes. All the episodes of the original Doctor Who's from what was it, 63 to 89 or whatever that was. They're all on Tubi also, which is a free app. All right, thanks, guys. All right, let's get that down. I cannot believe the camera went out, so I hope y'all didn't miss too much here, man. I was just like getting into the groove here, man. Adding some tones here. Get a swatch going here. There we go. And like I said, normally you want to think about light source and things like that, but I'm going more for a look here. Okay. And thank you for the compliment there. And all right, there we go now. I'm actually been very happy with some of this. This is actually looking pretty good, pretty good. Let's get this pink eyes, see if we can make it pop. I don't have a fine liner, so we're going to go with just a small brush and see what happens. All right, guys. Bam. And his face pops. Look at that, guys. Look at that, right? All right, so let's add a little something to the red. See what else I can find here. I'm about to clean this thing up. Tell you what, let's get a little orange here. That'll work. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Just take some of that up. Now, a rule of thumb that I always heard about, and like I said, I'm no expert, is you kind of want 3 tones on it on a lot of your stuff. The 3 tones will really make it pop. And this is actually where I'm trying to think of like where some of the darker places would be to go with the tones I laid down. And then you can lift up your color with a drier brush. And back here where it's further away, I feel like it does need to be darker in general. There we go. Let me lift some of that up. And like I said, I'm self-taught, so this is kind of my own style. Yeah, you're seeing the definition there of what's coming up. It adds a little bit of depth to it. And like I said, I could just keep working this, and that's what I'm going to try to avoid doing. Because like I said, we're just trying to get through this together, guys. Get a little bit of yellow. Ooh, I do not like that at all. And there's a little blue still left on the brush, which is my own fault. Let's try this again. Clean this paint up. There we go. I've never worked so hard for yellow in my life. All right. A lot of the colors aren't really popping on there, but like I said, I'll go back and work this a little bit more and a little bit more. All right, so let's get a little water there just to show that we're on an ocean. This could be a disaster. I'm gonna do a little wet. And you see that the black is going to mix in there. So we'll just see what happens there, right? So basically, we're just going to get just enough there. You got to be kind of quick because this will dry up. Kind of get a little bit of an even layer there. Actually, I could use that effect on the water. That would be very cool. All right, so let's see what happens when we go with I want a blue that's different than what we've been using. This is where you got to trust the process. This is where you got to let it go where it's going to go. And there's no telling if that's going to look like water or not because, like I said, I'm kind of shooting from the hip here. Loading the brush up and letting the water go where it's going to go. All right. Okay, while it's doing its thing there, we'll get a little bit of green. I'm going to use a smaller brush. There's probably people who like are who are great at watercolor, and they're probably like yelling at me, like, "What the hell are you doing? What are you doing?" It's probably like freaking them out. What I'm doing is my thing. All right. So we're going to get a little green. And if you want to darken a color, you have to look at a wheel, a color wheel, and you look for its opposite. And the opposite will, opposite color, the contrary color, will darken it up. So I added a little bit of red, and the red is definitely taking it over. See what I can do here. A little water, see if we can get it to flow a little bit. All right. Get a little darker blues, see if that's done its thing. And the camera is not picking up more of the subtleties there, but I mean, you can see some of the colors coming in, trying to get it to kind of flow. It's a little bit of a cheat, in my opinion, because I'm making this up as I go. But you definitely get the impression that we are definitely in the water. All right. Now, we're not going to try to do an actual sky on this, right? Because this is just sort of a scene I'm looking for. So I'm kind of going to just try to block in some colors here. And from what I'm seeing on the drawing here, there's a kind of a purplish, a very light purplish feel there. Let's see what we got here. Oh, thanks, Knights of Old. We're next piece to be one of Booster Gold. Maybe. Why not? You know what I mean? Why not? You know? Booster will need a lot of yellow. That's why I was having problems mixing that little touch of yellow, that little touch that I was needing. I'm going to be interested to watch back and see what is popping up on this, what can be seen. So let me think here. What do I really want to do here? What's going to make this pop? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with a little bit of red here. So probably go for a pinkish color. So let me get this cleaned up. All right. It'll be interesting to see if I'm going to be able to pull this off with a dirty palette. And I'm sure people have done a bit more with less. And a lot of people kind of avoid blacks and whites with mixing their paints and things like that. And there's probably a good reason. With me, I think it's sort of like, you know, do I really need it now? You know. So I could, if I sat here and I was taking my time, I would come up with probably like a better design than what I'm about to do. This may blow it up. This may just make it look like crap, but that's okay. That's okay because, like I said, this is just a character study. So basically, we're going to go with probably like a stripe here. Let me think here before I do this. Should I just go with a square? I don't know. Let me think. And I'm getting that color from his eyes. a little bit of a dry brush going here. Mix a little bit more up. Black got in there. All right. Didn't come out exactly how I wanted it, but if I sit here and continue to work it, I'll eventually get what I want here. So then where I've got that red sky, the red around them, let's get a little bit more up here. Yeah, there we go. We're going to get just a little bit on him here. Make sure. A little bit of the reflection on him. So what I do is I get the color on there. All right. Think of a red hue. So it's going very gray for some reason. So it's probably my brush. Okay. So we get a little bit of that on there. Then I take my brush, my thing, and I run it across, smearing the color across. All right. Then I would let this dry, and I'm going to work it some more, guys. Yeah. Because as I look at it, I see a few spots that could be softened. All right. And as I work it, see, you're not seeing the color here and here for some reason that I just applied. I'm going to assume that's my camera. Maybe it'll be there on when we let it go. So, and then I would work this way into becoming more like water in some way. So where it's cartoony, I may just like take the inks or something like that to it and stuff, right? So what time is it? Since we're here together, you guys have stuck in there. Why not? I don't know. Let's see if we can just blow this thing all the way up. Yeah, the camera's definitely washing out some of the stuff that I'm doing here, how it's coming out. That red that I'm seeing on the camera is definitely not that loose, that pale, if you will. That's, yeah. Darken some of this up. Okay. I imagine drawing Dr. Manhattan, vaporizing him, or Hulk smashing him. Oh, thank you guys. All right, now that like I said, now that was real. Not making excuses. Not making excuses. but I'm learning. This is a learning process. I'm seeing that some of the colors are not coming through. They're being bled out, I guess, whited out or something going on. Like I said, the red is not the hue on camera as I'm looking at it here. It's not a big deal. And then as this dries, I would go in here and continue to add to it. Smoothing this out, probably coming in here and adding more texture to where the grass is to define it, because this is ink wash. Just continue to work it and define what is there. Find the places that the watercolor is working. And the places that the watercolor is actually working, I would leave it alone just to try to enhance it. See, that's another thing. I'm looking at this, and there's two different hues of green here. There's two different, I don't know what I'm saying, two tones of blue here to add shadow, and that don't look like they're showing up on camera there, right? So that might just be my camera and something for me to think of there and stuff, right? But anyway, I think what I would do is go over a lot of this stuff and just tighten up my lines, make a few bolder, work with the watercolor where it's working. And this is definitely a piece that you would want to look at in person to catch how everything has worked. Yeah, I would just continue to keep working it. Probably spend about another 20 minutes on this. Oh man, you can't see the subtle wrinkles that I've made with the water there. It's not showing up as well, but that's all right. That's all right. Like I said, learning process. And I don't know about you guys, but I had a blast with this. And that's what's fun about when you do an actual, like, more of a cartoony style. You can just go in and just continue to thicken up your lines, and it's not considered a cheat. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I don't know. I'm going to look at this. I might play with it some more. I might put this up on Instagram. Maybe we'll do another one. Now, if you guys want me to do more of this, let me know. Because basically I am going to do more of this stuff, get more comfortable with it. So if you guys have certain characters you want or a certain style or something like that, would go with it. So I'm going to go ahead and play around with one more thing on this since we're here. Just blow this thing up. I'm kind of curious. So we have watercolor, pen, and ink. And so I'm going to get out some markers here. I'll try something. I am going to try something. We got our blues and a gray. All right. Don't know if this is dry enough for me to go ahead and try this, but let's do it. So what I have is I have a ton of watercolor or alcohol markers. So let's see, let's try something here. I'm going to go with the chalk bit, the chip. That's what we can do. That alcohol working on the watercolor is interesting. Very cool. Yep. Very cool. It actually activates the watercolor a little bit. Nice. Oh, very cool. Very cool. That's interesting. Let's go with a cool color here. And not cool as in Fonzie cool. Cool as in temperature. Oh, too much. Too much. Definitely too much. Oh, yeah. Nice. So the purple that I'm adding there for the temperature is more of a black. Okay, nice. All right, we'll just blend those in. I just wanted to see what would happen if I use those on there. You don't usually use a blender like this. This is just pure alcohol, but this will help smooth some of it out. Are they dried up? Nice. All right, that smooths it out. It does make it pop a little bit, but that's interesting. All right, guys, that is it. Oh, you're not. Oh, you guys are cool, man. Oh, thank you. Wish I could draw that well. I hope you can draw better, you know. So anyway, thank you for the compliments. Okay, thank you, man. And like I said, this was just real quick. This was to get comfortable. I had a blast. It felt good to. I feel like I'm over explaining a few things, but it felt really nice to be able to really start relaxing. So yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay. Now I'm probably going to draw this figure again. I've got a little I got a little notebook, a little sketch pad that I think I bought for like $5 from Walmart, and that's the one where I just put my ideas down and my doodles, nothing real serious. What I need to do is probably do some kind of sketch. I'm going to assume this is dry. Maybe a sketchbook tour. I keep saying goodbye, but I'm almost. I want to see how this has come out. All right. I'm not going to. Oh, the purples, man. The purples, as they're drying, are really looking well. So I may have to experiment more with my watercolors. There we go. But anyway, all you got to do is just sit down and do it. I could reuse these pieces. Yeah, it's pulling up the paper a little bit. That's definitely not kosher. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. Maybe it's where I might have to repair that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. There we go. Oh well, there you go. All right, so there we go. That is Usagi Yojimbo after Stan Sakai with a little of my own little touches there. And I'm still looking at it, man, and I'm not liking how the colors are not popping on camera. When I'm sitting here looking, I'm gonna have to figure out what that's all about. Same thing happens when I take pictures and I put them on Instagram. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Thanks for all of you that sat here and experimented with me, the compliments, and I appreciate it, man. And yes, we will do more of these. All right. In the future, like I said, if there's any characters you want, put them down there. Thumbs up, subscribe, share the video so people know we're doing different things here, right? Okay, guys. There we go. That was a character study of Usagi Yojimbo on 12/8/2024. That is December 8th, 2024. And we were signing out at 6:56 in the PM on a Sunday night. Be excellent to each other.